My executive assistant, there's only one thing you need to do for me is protect my time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's doing that.
I love that. Protect your time.
Protect your time.
So today we have my good friend, Kevin Cruz here. He is an entrepreneur, founder of Kinetic Real Estate. He's a father. He does a bunch of stuff. He's gone through a lot to get to where he is today. And I have him here to share his amazing stories. So please introduce yourself, Kevin.
Well, thank you for inviting me over as a guest. And this is Ashley. She's also a serial entrepreneur as well. Very big inspiration for me. I've been knowing her for a while now. But yeah, I think my background, moved here in America from the Philippines when I was 13. It was tough because I didn't know how to speak English. I had a dictionary on me and I didn't have a status in the United States. I was more of like a tourist visa. So my visa expired after several months. But my parents pretty much sent me down here from the Philippines so to have a better life and continued my life over here. I was already high school in the Philippines, ready to continue, pursue my college career there. But just everything just turned around just like that. And now I'm here in America. It's a blessing in disguise. A couple of years after I started working, 70 years old, ended up with 3 jobs. I was just one of those like workaholic people. I needed to make money for myself. I need to make a living. And 18 years old, something drastic happened to me where I had a case of a deportation case and went to prisons at 18. And I was able to get out and fight for my case. And that was my second chance in my life to be here in America. And that's the time I dropped out of college after, which my parents did not like. My family, no one liked. It's like, why would you drop out of college after everything just happened to you? Well, I want to become a businessman. I got involved in multi-level marketing at the age of 18. Recruiting, leadership, personal development, selling products, things like that, right? And that really brought a lot of skills. And although it didn't make me a lot of money, it brought me a lot of networking skills, how to get around the street smartness, like even further, right? And because I had good mentors around me at that time. I had good people who's like guiding me, keeping me accountable, which is something everybody needs nowadays, accountability. And I did that for like a couple of years, 4 years. And after that, I started a event production company at 23. I started a sound and lighting production at 25. I started a cannabis club at 25 as well. I started investing into like small things that didn't really make me money. But I learned a lot from it. And 26 and a half years old, I got into real estate because I just wanted to do something like involving like how to help the people. I want to deal with bigger money. All that time spent that I did, starting multiple different things, blah, 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 whatever you call it. You definitely have the hunger, but at the same time, it takes a lot to build a business. All those companies, I see that the money is growing and stuff, but nothing is really going in my pocket yet because it's a business. You own the business, like when do you ever see a business where you get paid first before others, right? You're not going to see that. And I learned that the hard way. So that was like survival. At the same time, it's a blessing in disguise. I did all of that because I landed into real estate. And real estate, when you do sales, the money goes to you. Every time you sell a property, the commission goes to you. It doesn't go to the business because you don't own the company. The brokerage owns the company. So you get paid. And the fact that I got paid once, I'm all like, I think I can do this more. And I did it more and more. And my first year, I hit Rookie of the Year at 27 years old. 28 years old, I did 30 under 30, Entrepreneur of the Year. I was the highest producer under 30 years old in the whole rheology, basically. That's worldwide. You're talking like multiple different companies and stuff. I was able to achieve that. I'm all like, and that's the time I was like, you know what? This is my calling now. Real estate is something I'm going to do. So I had to depart from a lot of the things that I'm doing, which took a little bit of a while. Keep in mind, during all those times, I have 2 kids already who are like 6 and 7 years old when I started real estate. And I was pretty much broke. The company's making money while I'm broke. 29 years old, my 3rd year, I'm all like, man, I did so well in real estate, but I ran out of time because I was a solo agent doing everything from open houses to filling out disclosures, showing properties, listings, listing appointments, buyer consultation, like you name it, I did it. Create an online platform, post 3 times a week on social media, prospect 20 people per day. I did all that. What as a realtor should do in the very beginning, but I just 10x'd it. Mm-hmm. So I started building a small team after that. I found a buyer's agent. I found an admin, which is my fiance now. We all started up, with like 3 to 4 people. And my 4th year, that's when I founded Kinetic Real Estate. And right now, Kinetic Real Estate's moving along with other investments that I'm doing, real estate projects, developments, lot splits. Yeah, a lot. I don't even know.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It sounds like you've been through a lot. I know your story and it's super inspiring. I guess when it goes back to your childhood and all the adversity you've been through, how did that lead you to who you are today? All the adversity, all the challenges, what got you to like get out of it? Like what was that fighting sense in you that was like, you know what, I got to keep going. I need to just keep pushing through. Like what was it?
That's a good question. I don't even know if anyone asked me that yet. So when I went to, when I didn't have status in the US for a couple of years, I didn't really take it so seriously, right? Until I almost got deported. And then I'd be like, if I go back to the Philippines, all my cousins, I have so many family members in the Philippines that deserves to be here more than me, I feel like. And the fact that I'm here and I'm not seizing the opportunity of the American dream, like you can work 10 times in the Philippines versus like over here, you're not even going to make the same. You're not even close, actually. Mm-hmm. Like the amount of work you have to put in the Philippines is way, way, way harder. And for me to see that, I'm all like, I really have to make something out of myself. Like I can't just waste this opportunity of being here in America and fucking around with it, basically. Like I have to take it on a serious level of like, hey, I think this is my calling. I think this is my opportunity for me to like be something outside, because when I almost got deported at 18, my family looked down on me a lot. Some of them didn't want to talk to me, and I needed to prove myself of like I can be something, and I can change.
And so when you said that you got deported when you were 18, was that because you did something?
Almost got deported. No, not really. I was accused of something that I did not do, but it just happens to be that I did not have the status in the US. Or my visa expired, so they accused me as a criminal over here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and that's a big thing, in America back then.
And so, how were you able to get yourself out of that?
Asylum. We filed a case of like, if I go back to the Philippines, my life will be in danger.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna die, basically.
Oh, that's a whole nother story itself.
Yeah, the judge gave me 2 years to stay here to fix that situation before I turned myself in.
Got it.
Yeah.
And so you fixed that situation, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you say you felt like you have to prove yourself, would you say that's imposter syndrome? Because I've been battling a little bit of that.
Yeah,
right?
I still have imposter syndrome right now, like even posting on social media, posting this stuff. As I'm talking, I'm kind of stopping myself of like, man, am I saying too much right now? Am I being too open right now? That's imposter syndrome in me. But I think what people need nowadays is like the realness, like what really happened, right? I mean, past is past, right? But learn from it and hope you guys can get inspired by it.
Okay. Yeah, that's the same for me too. And I actually learned from my coach. I have a new executive coach right now. And he was telling me that the reason why you feel imposter syndrome is because you're playing big enough now. Because you're playing so big and it's scary, and that you're pushing yourself, you're no longer comfortable. And so when he said that to me, I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And when you reframe it like that, you don't feel that like anxiety as much, at least for me. I don't know.
So you frame yourself as you're doing something big?
Yeah, like you're basically playing in a bigger ocean now. You're doing something bigger than what you were doing before, right? You're growing. It's a new challenge now. It's different, right? Whereas, and that's why it's scary, because it's unknown. And I think the thing is that a lot of people, they stay in the known, right? They want to stay comfortable. But the thing about us is that we don't stay comfortable. We're always pushing ourselves. We're always wanting to do more, do better, keep growing. And I think because of that, that's why we feel some of that. Like, oh, maybe we don't deserve it because we're not yet there. We look at other people like, oh, they're doing so great. They look like they're doing so well and all these things. But everybody's actually fighting their own battles.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, fighting their own battles, right? Everybody... like you go on social media, everything looks sunshine and rainbows, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. But the truth is that, like when I went through my down last year, I remember I was telling you about it, right? When I like lost 40% of revenue in 2 months, and and we were like just negative, and I was like, okay, how are we going to get out of this, right? Like how I got out of it really is talking to more entrepreneurs and hearing about their downs. Hearing about all the challenges that they went through, what they had to go through to get out of it, all of that made me feel like I wasn't alone. And I think that gave me faith, and that gave me strength. And I was like, okay, it's not just me. And I know that there's other people going through it. And then also finding out that people actually overcomes it, right? And that people can actually make it. People do come out of it, and that there's light at the end of the tunnel. I think that was very important for me.
That's really good to hear. Shit, I'm learning. I need to talk to more entrepreneurs.
So going into that, like I want to hear about, it sounds like you've been through so much. What is one like big failure or failing moment of yours and how did you get out of it? Like if I were to ask you, like, what is something that you failed at? What is that and how did you get out of it? Or maybe something that you're still going through.
I can't think of one actually. I feel like there's a lot of things that you just do and or I can't specify one. Nothing exactly failure. I always just think that all these challenges we're dealing with is like, it's part of you. It's part of it. Like life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you, type of thing. So I can't really specify what a failure means. Maybe I do have one, not really related to the business, actually. That's not related to the business, which is by 22 years old, I already have two sons, right? Jonah and Micah. And that was the time where like, I'm like literally just starting off the business. I think I spent a lot more time with the business over them. My philosophy back then was like a father should provide, right? And I couldn't provide at that time. So I spent a lot more time trying to provide, but yet you lost time with them. And that's probably the biggest regret I have in my life currently right now. It will forever be at some level. How do you recover from that redemption, right? Tian and I, we have Chloe now. She's 4.5 years old. I'm very involved with her life now, right? Because that was the only redemption I can really do. I have two stepsons or future stepsons, right? That I'm pretty involved as well. And when I see my two boys, Jonah and Micah, I get to we spend time together, we blow money away, type of thing, I try my best to spend as much time as I can with them. And I feel like I'm going to become a lot more handy later on when they turn 18 now, or like, hey, I can share you what I did, like this is the failures I did. This is my experiences. This is my struggle. I hope they understand why I did what I did, type of thing. But business-wise, I don't know. You fail, you get back up. How fast can you get back up? Last Friday, actually, with all this cancellation of projects and things like that, contracts and stuff, we had like 3 of them that I dealt with Friday. Oh my God, dude. How I got over that, I just literally just go work out, get my mental space ready. And after that, just tackle it in, knock it in, get over it by just dealing with it right away. Be a doer.
When you talked about your biggest regret about your kids, that's something that I go through currently, especially because I'm a mom and I'm a woman, right? Like because of the stereotypes, like, oh, your moms are supposed to be more motherly. They're supposed to be more involved with their children and all these things. When I look back on my kids now, I just went to my son's graduation today and I'm like, whoa, he was at one point only 2 years old. And I totally like missed out on so much because I was busy working. And and I mean, even right now with my third kid, like I barely see him, and so, which leads me to asking you to like, do you believe in work-life balance?
Yes, I do. Now I do. Well, it's easier said than done, right? Here's the thing. When you're in survival mode, I think from every person who came from adversity, such as you, such as me, and a lot of people, right? How can you deal with work-life balance if you really, you're a high driver, you want to make something out of yourself, you want to be something else, right? You want to be somebody else. Like there's no 40 hours a week or 6 o'clock you get off and like spend time with your family. Like for somebody who came from adversity, like, like your survival, I don't think that's what it is. There's something called, when you start something, it's called 5:58. From 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, basically. I've learned that from one of my friends. It's like, yeah, that's called 58:58. When you start something, it's going to take a whole lot of you.
How do you balance work and life right now?
Well, before I didn't have a work-life balance. I was working 14 hours to 16 hours a day, grinding and saving up, things like that, doing whatever. But now, because of all that hard work from 18 to 28 years old, when I hit my breakthrough at 28, now I can have a work-life balance. You see what I'm saying? Like now I can travel, I can spend time with the kids, I can spend money for the kids. I have 3 kids in private school right now. Like dude, like I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't grind from 18 to 28. You see what I'm saying? Because
you've built a foundation.
Yeah, so but although it's a regret for me to not see my kids in the early on, I feel like I really just had to do it.
Right.
It's a never-ending battle.
You're a serial entrepreneur. You have a bunch of stuff going on, right? How do you like delegate your time and how do you stay not overstimulated? Do you ever feel overstimulated? Like you have so much stuff going on and do you feel like you're like rushing through the day? And if you do, how do you stop that? Or how do you slow down time and be more present?
Yes. Well, the number one thing that melts down anxiety and that feeling rushed and stuff is waking up in the morning and going to the gym. Nothing beats that. That's like the ultimate meltdown, me at least. But I think all the experiences that I've had, whether it's a failure, it's successful, we sold a business, things like that, I learned from different industries and companies that I'm actually involved in. Not me joining the company. I'm actually the co-owner of that company or co-founder, chief operating officer. I learned so much through experience over reading books that when I spot talent or like when I build in Kinetic, for example, I feel like I know the right people in the right places already. Even though they're not interested in joining, I'm going to find a way to get this person in. Why? Because I know this person will bring value. Like I hired this person, right? She's our operations manager. It took me 4 tries to get her in. And when she finally decided to join forces with me as an operations, right? She asked me what my role was. She said, I don't have a role for you, honestly. All I need to know, I just need you to help me create systems, to not work as hard, like working day-to-day stuff, but finding ways to optimize the business, which requires more thinking. Like, that's it. My executive assistant, she doesn't work like 40 hours a week. I just tell her like, hey, these are the projects. There's only one thing you need to do for me is protect my time. And she's doing that.
I love that. Protect your time.
Protect your time. You be the second line of, have them be the first line of defense, or in a way, right? First line of communication. I call it first line of defense. It just sounds cool, but first line of communication. All my texts, emails, and everything, she responds on my behalf and things. And it takes a while, but she's like literally like responding on my behalf. She knows what's urgent. She knows what's not urgent. So I'm only talking to one person, basically.
Right.
And that one person can handle a lot of things for me, and so on. We have more people in the company that's in the right seat, in the right place.
How do you pick them? Like, how do you identify? What is it? You can't just be like looking at them like, hey, I think you'll be great for this position, right? Like, what are the key metrics or key things?
First, I don't fully agree on basing that person on a DISC personality test. No way. There's just no way. How I develop finding the right talent and finding the right people is I really believe if you search, you will find.
Law of attraction.
The law of attraction. You just attract it some way at some level. But at the same time, I had a pretty good head start already when it comes to, before pre-Kinetic of building small companies and stuff, where it all comes down to intuition to me now. Like, you just feel it. This person can be that person. But the biggest thing for me in business is trust. Finding the person who you will trust. Like, especially somebody handling financials for you, admin for you, like commission statements for you. Can you trust them? Can you trust that they follow your vision in terms of, what you want to do, not what they want to do? It's more of like an intuition to me.
Me too. When I interview my leadership team, I don't even have like a pen or paper. It's pretty much just like they come in and we have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's all just based on intuition. I ask about their lives, like how did they grow up, right?
Yeah.
Like where do they come from? I want to hear about their adversity, challenges that they've gone through, all of that stuff. And then I just kind of formulate this idea that, okay, I think they're a good person. I feel like they'll be good for this role. And yes, so it's all through intuition too.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bigger thing too, part of it is connection.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Personality, things like that. Like, you got to connect with them. I talked to somebody, right? He just got hired from this big company, right? And he kept talking about his boss, right? And he said like, dude, like my boss, I would bring him a couple of potential people that they're looking for. Like, some people are like super high skilled, but my boss would be like, I don't like them. And I asked him, he would ask why, what is it? Personality. I was like, what? Like, you don't like, if they don't click, they don't click.
Yeah.
Like, you can have somebody very skillful, but if you guys don't vibe or like don't have that connection, that's going to be very hard. And I have a rule of thumb with my realtors also, like my leaders, right? Like, if I can't hang out with you until like 4 a.m. in the morning, you're not that person. You know what I mean? Like, who is that person that you can actually like chill like this? We can hang out all day, all night.
Right.
Like, if we have the time, right? Because we connect. Like, I need that in every single, I feel like I need that in every single person in my core. Besides the intuition and search, you will find law of attraction. You got to look at that person's life as well. They may be good in business, but they're bad with their family.
Right. Yeah.
How are they? Everywhere. I always believe that how you do anything is how you do everything. How many people respect that person, and what do other people say about that person as well? They have friends for like 20 years now, 15 years now. That's good. Like that means, okay, this person is like good person.
And then that leads me to my next question, which is if there's someone in your company, like someone on your leadership team who did something that you would say like a mistake, right? How would you handle that? Like something that could have cost you like X amount of dollars. And if you felt like, oh, okay, maybe it's a question of integrity, like how do you go about these situations?
Good question. So when it comes to money, like that costs a lot of money. That's easier conversation for me. I'm not going to get mad about it because I understand I've failed so many times. I've lost money already multiple times, various times, that it's okay to lose money, by a mistake, But when it comes to the question of integrity, I struggle with that. I need to like talk to people, my peers and stuff, to like really identify on how to approach the situation. And I learned to approach it in a just more of a conversation way, not attacking way.
What is stopping you from saying, hey, you know what, just get this person out?
For me at least, okay, the way I operate as a business, the way my philosophy and my core values is relationship. Like I came from the world of collaboration. I came from the world of teamwork. I came from the world of family. That I can't just like, you did this and you're booted out. But if it went over the edge, then it's a different story. But I struggle with that still. I'm still working on that. Everybody has a weakness. That's my weakness. I don't have it in me to just like kick somebody out like that or like fire somebody because they did something. I believe in second chances still. And I feel like things can be fixed. But sometimes I have this imposter syndrome. Like, did I do something wrong? Or
I'm the type where I'm very dominant, right? And so I tend to just talk to people and I tell people like what I'm feeling, but I don't really take the time to focus on what they're trying to tell me. I say my part and I tell them how I'm feeling and what I feel about the situation, and I'm just talking about what I'm feeling. But what I've learned is that, but are they hearing what I'm trying to tell them, and am I hearing what they're trying to tell me? And I think it's very important for us to just have like open dialogue and open communication. So what I've done recently, whenever something has happened, it's happened a lot. Back then, I just kick people out. I say, you know what? This is an integrity thing. You did the wrong thing. And it's a personality thing now. It's a character thing. And I don't want to have this type of people around me. But now I've learned that what you really need to do is just sit down and just be straight up with them. Like now I'm straight up with all my leadership team. Like if they do anything that I feel like it's an integrity thing, I will ask them, why did you do this? And where did it come from? And then if they, and then they'll tell me whether it was like this or that. And then I'll decide whether it was actually true or not. Right. And then after that, then I just tell them like, this is what I feel. I feel like I lost trust in you, because you did this. And, it will take some time building again, but I just want to tell you like exactly what I'm feeling, because I want to be super authentic and transparent. And I always just share everything. And I think when I do that, there's a different level of respect that comes from that, because they see that I'm just so upfront with them. Because before I used to kind of beat around the bush. I used to kind of like not tell them straight up what I'm feeling. I would kind of like try to get it out of them, but I already formulated all these ideas in my head of what I feel like what I think of them, but now I think coming out like super direct and super just straightforward has actually changed the relationship. But the most important thing too is asking them questions. Yeah. That's the other thing, asking good questions. So now like I've also learned to just ask questions. I ask them like, I trust you. Do you trust me? Because I was talking to my coach, like, yeah, I trust this person 100%. I think they're great. And he's like, okay, that's great. But do they trust you though? How do they feel about you? And sometimes they might not tell you the truth, but I think having that is also very important. So you're saying that you're struggling with it. I did too. But I think what I do a lot of times is I'm very just direct. That's it. And because for us, our values, our morals, our core values, it really is integrity and transparency. So being open and honest.
That's a really good perspective, and thank you for the transparency.
So going back to people in the right seat, so that comes with the EOS, right? Entrepreneur Operating System.
Yeah.
And that comes with the book Traction by Gino Wickman.
Yes.
He's actually part of Entrepreneurs Organization, which is what I'm part of.
Oh, dope.
So yeah, I actually got someone to implement that into our company now. Have you gone through that system?
We did that about 3 years ago. Okay. We went to the leadership group and we started doing that implementation with the EOS Traction book. It's a really good book. I highly recommend it. What we're doing right now is we're doing 90-day rocks.
Okay. Do you have a consultant that does it for you, or do you guys do it yourself?
So sort of, but not really. We have an independent CFO in our company. Yeah. And you might know her. I introduced you to her. But she still works with us, right? Mm-hmm. Early on in our beginning of our business, I think like second and third year, we were working on the EOS system. not really EOS system, but something similar to Traction that this person created that pretty much resonates with each other, right? And after that, a lot of the things we're doing right now is not really more so implementation, but more so execution now. But we still meet once a quarter with the leadership team to go over what our goals are for the next quarter.
So
But
who runs that though?
there's not really one person. I would say Juan
Okay.
is more like that person that governs everything, that overlooks everything.
I wish we could do it myself. Like my team could do it ourselves, but we can't. So we actually hired a consultant to do it for
That's
us.
good. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and they
Different-
only
different-
specifically do it. Yeah.
Different business,
Yeah.
different business, different structure,
Yeah.
whatever, but all relevant.
Right. What is your biggest challenge in business right now? Well, actually, you know what? I find that I think that personal has a lot to do with business. So, what is your biggest challenge right now, personally? It could be business, it could be personal, whatever.
Biggest challenge would be peace of mind right now, at least. I'm gonna take me a couple of days to figure this out. Yeah, whatever I need to do. Yeah, moving pieces with multiple various companies that I need to figure it out still. I think biggest challenge too is time right now. A lot of my people are in capacity that it's hard for who do I delegate some work to, or who do we pass this on to. It's like I'm playing multiple chess games right now, and I need a couple of days to checkmate to figure it out. If that makes sense.
When you say that you take a few days to figure things out, what do you do exactly?
Well, after this, I'm going to hit the gym. And that's really going to give me a lot of clarity. Probably do a little bit of cardio for more clarity. After that, go on my computer and look at all the things that I need to tackle in. What's taking up majority of my headspace right now? What's taking up most of my stress right now? And believe it or not, if you have 20 challenges that you're dealing with, there's only mainly one or two that's really taking up your time, and that's it. And you figure those two things out, and I think you hit that momentum of tackling in the rest. What I also like to do is when there's a lot of challenges, for example, escrow problems, escrow delays, cancellations, and stuff. That's the only thing that you deal with and problem solving all those things, you're not going to be successful.
Right.
You need to keep nurturing. You need to keep being productive into finding more clients or opportunities or more, different escrows. And the moment something good news happen, it's a lot easier to tackle in those top escrows because your conversation is a little bit different because you just got a contract or you just got a new listing. Your mind thinks differently now. Versus you're just tackling in all the problems. It can be stressful when you're doing that.
What I'm hearing is you're basically creating a different momentum, shifting the energy, right? And instead of staying in that problem solving mode, now you're going into creating opportunities, like you said. So it just sounds like to me, I see it as like an energy shift. You're basically moving this entire focus into positivity instead.
I love that energy shift. Yeah, that's the word for it. I switch my energy channel my energy while I'm dealing with it. That's what I'm doing. So that's my ultimate goal, is to get home with a piece of okay, I'm good.
Do you journal? Do you write things down?
I usually write down all the things I need to do, and I do my best to not get sidetracked and use my phone, where my phone is silent and it's down. And whatever I see on those paper, I'm going to finish it before I move on to reading texts and stuff, whether it's urgent or not. I don't even know what text I'm getting because it's silent. But I need to tackle it in brainstorm and tackle it in each of those tasks that I write down to finish and problem solve.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. That's great. I love the fact that you're able to prioritize that. You could put it into paper, you could see it, and then you prioritize the list, and then you make sure you get it done. I think that's very important.
Yeah, it's mental toughness. It's all mental, honestly. What you're dealing with and stuff. If you have mental strength, you can pretty much handle a lot of things. You can pretty much handle everything you're dealing with.
Right. So how do you keep that mental strength? How do you keep it going?
I mean, I'm not perfect at it, but what helps me is waking up in the morning and working out, doing my walks.
Do you have any mentors?
Not mentors at the moment, but I have a business coach. Yeah. Business coach that just helps me with the business and sales as well. And I'm really a mentor. Do you?
No, I mean, see, that's something that I've struggled to come to find too, because there's no one person that embraces everything that I want. what I am surrounded by are people who are very successful in one area, usually is not successful in another area of their lives. And a mentor for me is someone that's really successful in all parts. But I also feel like that's not realistic. But I do have people that I look up to. And most of these people, though, are like, people on TV, people who write books. So how I do it is I listen to a lot of YouTube videos, right? Listen to podcasts. I read a lot of books. And I guess in a way, those are my mentors, but it's through books. It's not so much like one-on-one type of stuff. But I do have 2 coaches and I have advisors, I guess you could call them. And they kind of serve as like my mentors. Back then when we were hustling, I mean, we still are, right? But it was a different type of hustle mentality. When we're going at it every day, just hour after hour, you felt like that was what you're supposed to do. But I think now that we've gone to a certain level, we're kind of like, now it's peace. Like for me now, I'm trying to figure out what's my purpose in life.
Yeah.
Like it's like that Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Now it's like the self-actualization mode, right? Like, okay, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? So have you, going through everything you've gone through, like what would you say is your purpose in life?
I haven't fully defined that yet, purpose-wise, but I think I've been given a gift of providing opportunities to people, making an impact in their lives, and like I think providing for my family. Honestly, like, I have the ability to help other people.
Right. That's something that I've been learning too, that when you're given all these talents, you'll call it, it's important to give back.
Yes.
Yes. So that you help others and you bring on the next generation. So really the purpose here is to inspire.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of founders and visionaries are, right? Like the people who are here to build something amazing to help bring up the next generation. I feel like we are really here just to inspire. And so, Kevin, what is next for you?
I'm looking for a bigger place right now for my family and I. That's it. Keep it simple. That's it. Well, sell all my a lot of my real estate projects. We have 5 flips. Finish those off. I have maybe like 4 to 5 properties right now I need to sell, and after that, that's it.
So focus on family.
Yeah, this summer, my stepson is gonna work on his driver's license. We're gonna go next month. We're gonna go to a taekwondo tournament for my other son. He's almost black belt now. In like 4 to 6 months, he'll be a black belt. My daughter, moving to a different school now, but same company. So I'm trying to learn how to accept my life as
Normal.
normal. Like
There's nothing normal about being an entrepreneur.
Yes, there isn't. But like, how do you accept and being boring? That your life being boring. But
It's not boring. It's called stability.
Costability. Is that what they call it? Costability.
It's called stability.
Stability.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. That's my next. How about you?
Oh man, I have so much planned, but a lot of it's business related. But even personally, I've been on a journey of self-discovery when it comes to faith. I've also I have more clarity into what I want to do with the company and how I want to build it. A lot of like structuring the companies. And really the main thing is just to continue building, growing bigger opportunities, larger opportunities for people around me. And that's not going to stop.